With Season 1 of The World Within well underway, we have a good understanding of how to gear our characters. So what are our gearing options? Once we have the gear, how do we upgrade it? And what's a reasonable item level to shoot for? Hey everyone, Two Angry Frogs here to show you how to gear your characters, to easily reach item level 610, and ways to even reach 619. And none of this requires any group content, so no rating or Mythic Plus required. So for this, we'll follow along with my Shadow Priest as we gear and get ready for the highest level solo play content. For Season 1, gearing options range from 558, the starting item level for World Quests, to 639 from the final bosses of Mythic Nerebar Palace. For the Shadow Priest playing solo, I can reasonably set a goal in the 610 to 620 item level range. So from a fresh level 80 at item level 529, I have about 85 to 95 item levels to gain. My first goal will be to reach 590, which will get this character prepared for completing Tier 7 and Tier 8 delves. So how do we get there? We have 4 world bosses that rotate weekly: Kordak the Dormant Protector in the Isle of Dorn, Aggregation of Horrors in the Ringing Deeps, Shirai in Halifal, and Orda in Ash-Kahet. These can be completed once per week and have a chance of dropping champion, track item level 603 gear, upgradable to item level 619. You'll see the weekly world boss quest marked on your map with a skull icon. And when you click on the icon, the quest for defeating the boss is auto-added to your quest objectives. Although gear is not guaranteed, defeating the world boss rewards Weathered Harbinger Crest, Carved Harbinger Quests, and Valor Stones, which we will need for upgrading our gear. World quests, which are available after you finish the main story campaign, are a great way to gear up quickly and help fill in any gear slots that might be lagging. World quests are marked on your map with a circular star icon, and a new world quest is added to each zone every day. World quests reward Explorer Track item level 561 to 567 gear, upgradable to item level 580. When completing a world quest, there's also a chance that gear auto upgrades to the Adventure Track, which is upgradable to item level 593. Along with world quests and the early stages of gearing our character, we can also stop for any rare enemies that we run across while completing other activities. Defeating a rare enemy rewards a piece of random gear at item level 554, which can serve as a quick and easy item level boost. However, note that gear from rare enemies is not upgradable, so you don't need to go out of your way to hunt them down. There are 8 weekly events or quests we can complete to help in gearing our characters. Events include the World Soul Weekly Quest in Dornegal, Spreading Light in Halifal, Theater Troupe in the Isle of Dorn, Awakening the Machine and Snuffing in the Ringing Deeps, Severed Pact in Ash-Kahet, and 2 special assignment quests in random zones. Completing each event or quest rewards a chest that can contain gear, restored coffer keys, gear upgrade materials, gold, and other items. The first 2 chests that you open each week contain a piece of Veteran Track gear, upgradable to item level 606. For the Shadow Priest, I received a 584 and a 590 item level piece of gear. Each chest after the first 2 has a chance to reward gear, but it is not guaranteed. It is a good idea to complete at least 4 events or quests per week for the restored coffer keys. We can collect 4 of these each week to open bountiful coffers when completing bountiful delves, which we'll get to in a moment. Beyond gear and restored coffer keys, all chests reward Carved Harbinger Crests and Valor Stones for upgrading our gear, so completing as many of these as possible each week helps us gear up that much quicker. So if you're limited for time, what do we recommend completing? You'll definitely want to complete the World Soul Weekly, because in addition to the chest, this weekly also rewards a Fractured Spark of Omens, which we will need for crafting higher item level gear. Beyond the World Soul Weekly, if you hold on to world quests in Ash-Kahet, the Severed Pact can be completed very quickly. Each world quest is worth 20%, so just finishing 5 world quests will complete the Severed Pact weekly event. If you also have the option of selecting world quests for the World Soul Weekly quest, you can knock that out at the same time as the Severed Pact as well. Next, Spreading the Light can be completed in literally less than 2 minutes, with most of that being flight time. You need a total of 12 Radiant Remnants to light the 4 lesser key flames, and once lit, the quest is completed. You do not have to complete any key flame objectives or lesser key flame quests to complete Spreading the Light. The theater troop is also very quick to complete as well and can be finished in about 10 minutes. The only thing you need to watch for here is the timing, since theater troop is only available at the top of each hour. So depending on how the weekly quests align, you can complete 4 events for the gear and restored coffer keys in less than an hour. Renown vendors can be a great source of gear. There are 4 renowned vendors: Auditor Balwars in Dornegal, Warmonger Squick in the Ringing Deeps, Aurelia Steelstrike in Halifal, and Iteki in Ashkahet. Renowned vendors in Dornegal, the Ringing Deeps, and Halifal sell veteran and champion track gear for resonance crystals. Renowned vendor gear is upgradable with veteran track rewards upgrading to 606 and champion track rewards upgrading to 619. The vendor in Ashkahet sells the Nerubian Pheromone Secretor trinket for Kedge. Each higher item level of trinket opens up an additional socket for specific gems that you purchase from various vendors in the City of Threads. In addition to gear rewards, at Renown level 24, all vendors reward an enchanted runed Harbinger crest, which is important for crafting higher item level gear. Note that if you are gearing an alt character, all Renown rewards earned by your other characters are immediately available to your alts. So, hooray for warbands. Crafting gear can be great for both in-game and filling in gear gaps while you're working to get higher item level gear from other sources. If you have crafting professions on your main character or alts on the same server, you can craft your own gear, which can save you a lot of gold in the process. If not, then you'll need to find a crafter and submit a work order for the item you want crafted. Either way, crafting higher item level gear will require an enchanted crest, a spark of omens if you're crafting with an enchanted runed crest, and a handful of other materials. We'll use enchanted weathered Harbinger crest for crafted gear item level up to 590, and enchanted runed Harbinger crest for crafted gear item level up to 619. Both enchanted crests require a nascent crest of the same type, which we can purchase from the enchanting supplier in Dornegal. The higher the quality of materials you can provide, the better chance of getting the highest item level of crafted gear. With crafted gear, you can also specify the secondary stats you want on the gear and any embellishments, which are additional abilities added to the crafted gear. Crafted gear using enchanted weathered crest is a great way to boost your item level early on. Each nascent weathered crest can be purchased for 30 weathered Harbinger crests, and with the currency cap after a few weeks into Season 1, you can purchase enough of these to create or requisition 590 item level gear in nearly every gear slot. Note that crafted gear cannot be upgraded like the gear we receive from other sources. However, the gear can be recrafted to higher item levels if it was not initially crafted at the highest item level for the enchanted crest that was used. Gear upgrading, as with previous iterations of the upgrade system, requires crests and valor stones. We have 4 types of crests associated with different item level upgrades depending on the gear track the item is on. For example, carved Harbinger crests are used to upgrade veteran track gear to level 8 of 8 and champion track gear to level 4 of 8. You need 15 of a given crest type in addition to valor stones to upgrade gear to higher levels within a track. Explorer track gear requires only valor stones, no crests required. For weathered Harbinger crests, by far the easiest farm is Azurite orbs. These look like Azurite spheres floating in the air, and when you fly through them, you receive 1 to 2 weathered crests. You can find these in all zones, but from what I've noticed, it appears that a zone is chosen each day that tends to have more of these available than the other zones. In addition, once you have upgraded all gear slots to the maximum item level for a given crest type, you will be able to exchange crests. For example, once you have upgraded all of your gear to 593, you no longer have use for weathered Harbinger crests. Viscarn and Dornegal will then allow you to exchange 90 weathered Harbinger crests for 15 carved Harbinger crests. Finally, for carved Harbinger quests, if you don't select loot from the Great Vault, you receive Algari tokens of merit. The amount is based on the number of Great Vault slots you have unlocked. You can exchange these tokens with Ardgaz near the Great Vault for a triumphant satchel containing 15 carved Harbinger crests. One other gear upgrade option we have is with the return of the Catalyst to convert specific gear to tier set pieces. In the War Within Season 1, we have the Matrix Catalyst in Dornegal. Although tier set pieces do not increase gear item level, The 2-piece and 4-piece set bonuses do increase your character power in single target, multi-target, or both depending on the tier set bonuses. Most classes and specs will see anywhere from a 4% to 10% increase in DPS with 4-piece tier. Delves are a new feature in the War Within that allow us to get gear at the same item level as high-level group content, but in solo play. You can think of delves as a combination of scenarios and mini dungeons that can be run solo, each taking roughly 15 to 30 minutes to complete depending on the delve. Each delve has a series of objectives to complete and enemies to defeat until ultimately you reach an end boss. In the delve, you will have a companion, Brand Bronzebeard, that you can configure as a healer or DPS. You can also assign curios to Brand, which provide additional combat and utility ability while running delves. Delve difficulties are ranked by tiers, each higher tier equating to higher health and harder hitting enemies. There are 2 things we are looking for with delves. First is reaching an item level high enough to successfully complete tier 8 bountiful delves, which provide the highest level gear rewards we can get from delves. Second is getting access to bountiful coffers to get to those gear rewards. For these reasons, we recommend completing as much of the previous week's content as you can before jumping into delves for the week. The more you can gear up to successfully complete tier 8 delves, the better your rewards from the bountiful coffers and Great Vault, and the quicker you will achieve your gearing and item level goals. After every daily server reset, each zone will have a new delve marked as bountiful. You can see which delves are bountiful by looking for the highlighted delve icon on the zone map, and when hovering over the icon, you will also see text denoting that it is a bountiful delve. This is where the restored coffer keys come in from completing weekly events. Bountiful delves have a special bountiful coffer chest at the end that guarantees a piece of gear. The item level of the gear depends on the tier difficulty of the delve completed. In addition to end of delve rewards, delves also contribute to your Great Vault rewards. Great Vault slots are opened for completing 2, 4, and 8 delves, and reward up to item level 616 gear for completing tier 8, which is equivalent to heroic raid and mythic +7 dungeon gear. Finally, we have the Great Vault providing a weekly selection of some of the highest item level gear. One fantastic change to the Great Vault for solo play in the War Within is the PvP track being replaced with a world track. So now delves and other world activities will give credit toward Great Vault rewards. The higher the difficulty of the activity, the higher the item level of your reward, so hence the reason for striving to complete those tier 8 delves. So, about 8 hours of playtime after reaching level 80 on the Shadow Priest, and I was able to increase my item level by 48 points. To help with this, I put in a public work order for a staff at item level 574, made my own neck at item level 583 with jewel crafting, and put in work orders to my warlock for wrists and shoulders at item level 590 as well as upgrading some of the gear I received from the various weekly events. This put me at 577 item level, which was enough to run 2 tier 6 delves. I'm saving the other 2 restored coffer keys for after the weekly reset to hopefully reach an item level for completing tier 8 bountiful delves and getting the higher gear in the vault. With completing the weekly events after the next reset, that will give me 6 restored coffer keys for bountiful delves, and at tier 8, that is guaranteed item level 603 gear. For solo play, there are a lot of great options and more of them for gearing in the War Within. Characters in solo play can reach higher item levels than ever before in comparison to rewards from group content. In addition, reaching our gearing goals can be done very quickly, even more so for alts. As always, let us know your thoughts and any questions you have down below in the comments, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you always know what's coming up next. And everyone, have a great day.